The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, everyone. I'd like to welcome you back to another KevCAM night class tonight. Tonight, have Steve Walsh helping out with any questions that come along the way for you guys.
Took a little hiatus, but I'm back for better or for worse.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, Greg, to make sure I'm on my A game for you guys and making sure that we're not missing anything for you. So, Greg, are you with us?
Hello, everybody.
All right. So I see all names that I at least recognize in here, so I won't go through the boring stuff. And what we'll be covering tonight is going to be fourth axis drilling and fourth axis drilling only. Now I realize it's going to be a shorter class, but last time when we did the drilling segment about 3 years ago, it was a little too much to try to pack into one night class. So we're breaking this up for you guys per your guys' request. So with that being said, let me hop over and we will get rolling with the fourth axis drilling. So I got a couple, two different parts I'll show you guys on and how it works. Now, for the fourth axis drilling, one thing that you will want to know is when you grab that fourth axis drilling, it's only going to work when that drill axis is pointed towards the center of the part. Now, you will want to put your coordinate system on the center of the rotary, so we know exactly we're rotating around the exact center of that part file. But with that being said, well, first thing I'll cover here is I got our setup here, and I'm running the clamping fixture, which is our chuck here, as well as if I do the machine preview, we will see, well, our spindle's in the way there, but I can see my chuck is in there, and actually my spindle is in there as well. So I know we're good there. I got my Mac 1 position 1. Now with the fourth axis, you will not have to create multiple positions for a part like what we're seeing right here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be drilling all these holes all the way around there. Now, gets commonly asked in tech support is, do I have to create a coordinate system for every hole? No. The software will do that for you as long as, like I said, that drill hole is pointed towards your XYZ0. So we will start off with drilling like we've been talking about in the last couple night classes. Now, one thing that a lot of people forget to do when they go to do fourth axis drilling is you will want to come in here, and instead of doing on a flat plane, we will now want to select around fourth axis, okay? So now that we have the fourth axis selected, now we can come in here and grab new geometry. Now, depending on where your fourth axis is located and how your coordinate system is set up, you will want to do around, in this particular case, we are rotating around the x-axis. So I have chosen the x-axis right here to go around. Now, we can come in here and just click on the face, and it will grab all of our holes for us. Now, I can do this in other scenarios, like we talked about in the last couple weeks, is we can do the CAD selection, we can do it based off of our SolidWorks model and all that stuff. But in this particular case, I'm just going to go ahead and click on the face, and we will want these arrows to be pointing towards the spindle. So if these arrows are pointing in the opposite direction, you guys can come in here and right click and do reverse. And you'll see that my arrow actually went from the center out, and now it's actually pointing from the center going the opposite direction. So that's one thing you want to keep an eye on as you're going through there to make sure everything is going the correct direction for reverse or forward. And I'll get into a part where it shows they're going all different directions for you. But as picking your geometry, this is about as simple as it gets. Like I said, just remember, you always want to have that arrow pointing towards the spindle. Once we're happy with that, we can go ahead and accept this. And I'll just kind of move this over so we can see it. And I'll go ahead and grab a tool here. And grab our spot drill. Levels. Now, since we are doing 4th axis, the upper level, all we have to do is just click on anywhere on the outer cylinder for the top surface. So you don't have to be worried about having your model orientated just absolutely perfect, trying to click on the uppermost part right there. Like I said, just go ahead and just click anywhere on the outside diameter that you want to go to. Now my drill depth, in this particular case, I don't want to drill down to anything except up to my full diameter. So I want to spot drill down to a full diameter. If we go to our technology, like what we've talked about the last couple weeks, here's all your sorting technology, your drill cycle types, and all that. But since we're doing a spot drill on this one, we'll just do a simple G81. And now we can do a save and calculate. You can see on here, my tool path is coming in here, doing the spot drill and just working its way around the 4th axis. So if I can kind of get my 3D connection mouse, it's going to come in here, rotate, come here, drill, and then do a rotation and keep working its way all the way around until we get that completely finished off. So if we want to go ahead and simulate that here, for this one, we'll just do a quick solid verify. Zoom out a little bit. In this one, in the solid verify, you will see it looks like the tool is rotating around the part, which it is. But when it's going to go on your machine, obviously your tool is not going to be rotating around there. So to see what it's going to look like on your actual machine, we'll go ahead and pull up the machine sim here.
That's just easier on the computer graphics, right, Kevin?
Yep.
That's why it kind of bounces around the part. Yeah.
Yep. That's a great point, Steve. So now we have this on our Haas UMC. We have our fixture on there. And now when we go to play this, this is exactly what it's going to be happening on your machine for you. I realize this is a 5-axis Haas UMC, but we're treating it as a 4-axis only. And just as simple as going through and just spot drilling, rotate, spot drill and rotate, and it's done. So like what we talked about previously, as we hop out of here, is from right here, now I need to drill out the part after spot drilling. So I'm just going to make a copy. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse the direction, save a little bit on that cycle time for that indexer trying to completely unwind itself and start at the beginning again. So, and I'll explain this real shortly here. Now I'll come up to my tool and go ahead and we'll grab a drill. And like I've been telling you guys, I can come in here and click on the diameter. So it's a 625 drill. I'll go ahead and throw a holder on here real quick. We can select that. Of course, you guys can pick your feeds and speeds at this point. If you're worried about your holder hitting, we can turn on our holder collision. Now I'm gonna go to my levels. Now my upper level is gonna still be the same because we're starting from the top. And now my profile or my drill depth is gonna be the bottom of the part. So I can just click on the inner diameter in there and it's gonna automatically calculate the distance that it needs to travel for you based off the model. We'll go to full diameter. And just so I don't get that little spud that's usually left in there by a drill if I go right on size, I'm going to go a little bit farther past and just do a 50 thou past. Now if we're running harder material, I'll come in here and do a G83. So we're doing a pecking. And we'll stick with our 100 thou peck that we've been working with. So our step down is just for simulation only. And the Q pec is what's going to affect your G code. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. save and calculate. So with this reverse direction, what we're doing is, let me just turn our drilling on. We're starting right here and we're going counterclockwise around our part. Now, since I turned on my reverse direction, I'm going to turn off my toolpath for my spot drill, turn on my toolpath for my drilling. Now it's going to leave off right where that last spot drill was. The indexer is going to stay right there, and now it's going to do a clockwise going around. Like I said, this is just to save a little bit of cycle time. Now, if you guys are worried about your fixture or anything coming close to your fixture or drilling through your fixture, we can turn on our fixture collision right here. But all said and done, that is fourth axis drilling. Very simple, very easy to use, but one thing you will have to remember is that hole does have to be on center line with your axes. So let's go ahead and show this here. I'll go ahead and do a simulate, and we'll do a machine sim. All right, so we are, get you guys in a good position here. Do you guys like seeing the entire machine in there, or just the spindle and the trunnion and the platter? If anybody wants to just tell me, I'll definitely change it up for whatever you guys would like to see. But we will go ahead and play this through. Spot drill.
Kev, what if the holes were modeled with the hole wizard? Would we pick up on that?
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay.
So if the holes are the hole wizard process would not work for the fourth axis, because the hole wizard process is just looking at a simple flat plane. But what you guys could do is take that hole wizard process, and once it's found the spot drill tap, you could go back in there and just modify the geometry and tell it, instead of doing a flat plane, we would like to do a fourth axis. So
cool.
Carlos, I'm going with your suggestion. He said just go with the trunnion and spindle. So that is it. Like I said, very simple and easy to use. Now, any questions on the round part here, or with the fourth axis drilling? Okay, I don't see any questions coming in. So what I'm gonna do is I'll go ahead and hop out of here, and we'll get into like a square part. So I'll go ahead and close this down. And should be in my recents here. Okay, so now we have this square part in our Kurt vise, and I will once again run this on our UMC 750 here, but it got a couple different holes going on here. So we'll start off with in our setup. I've changed it up, so I have my Z distance, which is from the top of the part to the bottom of the vise, is the 11.19 in there. Now go into drilling, and we'll go ahead and do around fourth axis. And you guys will see when I set up my coordinate system, my XYZ is in the exact center of our part file here. And so we're going to tell it we want to do drilling around fourth axis. And even though that my drill holes aren't, let's say I'm going to go for these 3 drilled holes right here, and I think, yeah, these are 3/4 20 tapped holes right here. So I'm just going to click on that face, and like I said, we want those arrows to be facing towards the spindle. So I need to go to these 3 and do a reverse. And this is all based on how the part was modeled. So I drew this part in this specific way. So this, when I did the 1/4-20, I extruded, or I did the feature through the entire part. So I could show you the reversing direction right here. So here's my 1/4-20 holes right here. And I'm gonna come over here and grab my other 1/4-20s. And these are facing out in the correct direction now. So we'll go ahead and accept that. And we'll go ahead and do our spot drill here. We'll set up our levels. So I am going to put my outside diameter, or my outside value, in there and put this at 0. And I will spot drill this up to 0.27. Get a little bit of chamfer on there. Save and calculate. And I'll kind of buzz through this real quick here because I know we've kind of covered a lot of this, but I'm going to go back to my tool, hit select, go ahead and grab a tool 1 drill, and we'll go ahead and throw a holder on there. Grab that, and my levels are going to change up now. And we'll do full diameter, going 50 thou past. And we'll go with our the good old 100 thou pack. Okay, and I'll reverse that. So our 4th axis doesn't have to do so much rotating. Save and calculate. Make one last copy here to do our tap. So I'll turn off the reverse, go to my tool, and we'll go ahead and grab our tap. I'm doing a 1/4-20. Go ahead and throw a holder on here. And just double check our levels real quick. That looks good. Got our tap, yep. And we'll go ahead and save and calculate here. Now, let's go ahead and see what we did so far here. Do our machine sim, because that just looks so much better than Solid Verify. Okay, so got our spindle, everything there. We'll go ahead and play this through. Spot drill. Rotate our platter around. Now we're doing our drilling. And you can see now this is why I like to reverse it, because it really saves that that 4th axis rotating there. And now we're doing our tap. And our tap on that side. So we're good. Now the only thing we have left is the opposite side. And pull out of here. And now with this opposite side, you'll see that these holes aren't even lined up with our z-axis. So that's our in the same direction as our z-axis. And that's not something you have to worry about. The one, like I said before, you have to worry about is these outlier holes that are going to be right here. So the drilling, the 4th axis drilling will not work for that hole because it is off center. And I can show you, if we just go to our drilling here, and we will do our round 4th axis. And if I grab this flat surface, you'll see that it will not even pick that hole. So no matter what I do, it will not pick this hole because it knows that it is not in line with the X and Y axes right here. Okay. So we got those holes, and I'll go ahead and grab these ones. Now you'll see this gets a little tricky here because when I drew this part, I did it through the entire thing with the hole wizard, but it looks like I'm only doing 2 sets right here, but in my section list, I have 4 holes. Well, what's happened is that first set was done correctly, but now the second set of holes, I just need to come here and just do a reverse. So now I got my arrows pointing out towards the Z direction I want to head towards. And I'll go ahead and grab our spot drill. And levels, upper level, it's going to be here. And like I said before, I'm just going to put that at 0, and we'll do 0.26, because that's just going to be a reamed hole or a drilled hole. Save and calculate, and we'll do, like I said before, a quick save and copy. I will switch over to a 1/4 inch drill here. Go ahead and throw a holder on real quick. And levels are going to change up a little bit now. So I want to drill to that inside, and we want to go minus 50 thou past up to the full diameter. Technology, we'll go ahead and do a pecking cycle here. Accept that, and we will reverse it as well. So go ahead and save and calculate. And now we just spot drilled and drilled on those other 2 sides. So now what I can do is come up here and find my tool number 1 and move that one up towards the other tool number 1 to save a little bit on index or end tool changes as well. So now we can come in here, go ahead and do a simulate. And like Steve was saying before, the machine sim does take a little bit to load, but that's why when we go ahead and show the solid verify, the tool is rotating around, not the full machine sim preview.
Kev, if you're doing the same type of drilling every time too, you'd set up maybe a template, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So now that we have this set up, and we kind of covered this in the last couple drilling classes, but yep, those templates are a lifesaver for you guys.
Yep.
And this will work on your drag and drops as well. So something that you guys are using on a common basis, definitely take the extra couple seconds that it takes to do a template and go ahead and create that template for that operation. So, and that is it. That's 4th axis drilling and everything there is to know about 4th axis drilling there. Greg, am I missing anything, or Steve?
I don't believe so.
Nailed it from my chair too. Yep.
All right, do we have any questions from the customers? I don't see anything coming through here. It's good to see that Ronnie finally showed up for us.
Yeah.
All right, so that I don't see any questions in there. So, like I said, I wanted to kind of do these drilling broken up into sections. I know they're going to be a little bit shorter videos, but in the long term, it takes away. Like I said, there's a lot to do with just simple drilling inside of the 2.5D and break it up for you guys. So, with that being said, we do have a little bit of a break for Christmas.
What? Nothing on Christmas Eve?
No,
Kevin?
no, sorry. I mean, I'm dedicated, but not that dedicated. No.
It looks like there was a question came in, Kev. RTCP off?
That would be a great question for Greg Payton. The RTCP. Greg, do you got anything on that one?
It's just the way that this machine sim's set up.
Oh, okay. And replay the simulation, look for the red. Well, the red is going to show up, Ronnie, just because I am spot drilling oversized. So in my model right here, when I'm spot drilling these faces, this is a 1/4 inch hole right here, and I spot drilled it up to a 0.26. So technically I am gouging my part, which would show up as red like you were seeing, but I want to go a little bit farther past just to have a nice little chamfer on there. So, okay. So, like I said, we're gonna have a little bit of a Christmas break for everyone. If you guys want, you guys can go ahead and send my Christmas presents to Kevin. No, I'm kidding. So we'll get the ball rolling again on January 7th. I will be in Missouri, but we'll still do it from the hotel room, and we'll be covering full drill recognition and everything there is to know about the drill recognition. And then one I'm really excited to show you guys is the multi-depth drilling coming forward as well. So, all right, I do see one. Looks like setting up to be consistent with center rotation of 4th axis would be time consuming. Center. Well, I'm not sure who. Looks like it's a first initial and last name, but this is, like I said, we're going to be going over all the different iterations of drilling. So what I will be covering for you guys coming up is the 5-axis drilling. I'm guessing is kind of what you're looking at there. And the 5-axis drilling, that will not matter where it is on there, on center line or off a center line, it will do that for you as well. Now, if we are looking to drill this hole right here, what we would want to do is set up a coordinate system for this flat plane up here. And then we could drill that hole, and then we would have a position 2 to come and rotate to do this one right here. So with that being said, you would just be one additional step for you and one additional operation. And that's where the positions come into factor for everyone. If we're just doing a standard 4th axis drilling and not the built-in 4th axis drilling in here. And like I said, we'll get into that in a future video for you as well. But like I said, you'd have to come into your coordinate system and create a position for anything that is off center for you. So the 4th axis drilling that is built inside the 2.5D is just going to be drilling for on center. So hopefully that kind of answers that question for you.
Yeah, and a lot of this was shown on a 5-axis machine, but it really comes in handy when you're on the mill turn machines where you have a turning application where your coordinate system is going to be based off the center line of the rotation as well. So if you got anything that's got some live tooling where you're coming in radially, this 4th axis drilling really comes in handy.
Yeah, boy, I didn't even think about that. I should have set up a mill turn machine for you guys, because that's where it comes in real handy. My bad. You know, after, what are we going on, 3 years of doing this, guys? 3.5 years?
Yeah.
Boy, you think I would start learning how to do these a little bit better for you guys.
All good. Get there.
Yeah. But like I said, this is everything there is to know about the 4th axis drilling that is in the 2D drilling functionality. And we will be covering in a couple weeks the drill recognition for you, and then going after that would be the deep hole drilling. And after that, I think there is one more drilling class I need to hit up. I can't remember offhand, but we'll get you guys up to speed on everything there is to know about drilling. But with that being said, just want to thank everyone for attending the night class. Love the interaction. Love hearing the comments from you guys. I love picking on Ronnie, but hope you guys all have a wonderful Christmas and a happy holidays. And we will see you guys after the New Year's. So, all right.
Sounds great. Thanks, Kevin. Merry Christmas, everyone.
All right. Merry Christmas.
See you guys.
Yep, bye.